Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for some more Escape from Tarkov, and today we're going to be talking about my first impressions of the patch and just kind of talking about some of the new features and changes to the game. And at the time that I'm recording this video, it hasn't even been a full 24 hours since the patch has been out, so everyone is still very much on the grind, leveling up their traders, or spending a lot of time hanging out in Interchange. I personally started off on Interchange on an offline mode to explore the area, to take a look at all the new stores and places to loot, and it is absolutely massive. It's actually a little overwhelming, and it was going to take up far too much of my time to loot every single nook and cranny to figure out all the hidden secrets of Interchange. Other content creators like Cotton already have videos on the Interchange map out, so I actually highly recommend that you guys go check out their videos, because it's going to take me a few more days before I would be able to even explore the amount of Interchange that these guys already have, because I have begun the task grind to discover some of the new tasks. Now, with the tasks, there have been a few changes, like the skier task can only be accepted at level 5, which doesn't take very long, but you no longer have to provide skier with a 4 armor. It's now 3 3M protection vests and 5 Tazes, and you can just like buy the Tazes directly from skier himself. You can do scav runs to kill other scavs to find 3M body armors. I found all 3 of my body armors within a few hours of the patch, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. Another big change though to the tasking system was the introduction that tasks now unlock the ability to purchase certain items. For example, completing a task with the therapist will actually unlock the ability to buy the car medical pack, which is big at level 1. So that's been one of the biggest complaints from the community, like the lack of access of multi-purpose medical kits at the early game, and now you can do that while completing a few tasks. And on top of just medical gear, also includes armor. By completing different tasks with therapists, you'll unlock a camouflage 6B47 that could be purchased from Ragman, and also completing tasks with Prapor will get you access to different weapons and ammunition. So there's more incentives to complete the tasks. Now the idea is these tasks will be able to be completed and then you'll be able to buy those items immediately, but that's not currently how it works. So you still need to level up your trader's reputation and purchase a lot of items from your traders before you can actually get access to those questing rewards. Because I completed a task that grant me access to the 6B47 from Ragman, but because my Ragman is only level 1, I won't be able to purchase that for a little bit. Now, also, there's been some serious changes. It's either a bug or intentional, where if you mass buy items from the traders and then sell back, that is the best value that you used to be able to get to level up your traders' overall, I guess, purchase requirement. Now, if you buy items from the traders and sell them back, you really don't get the value anymore. Again, not too sure if that's a bug or intentional. Just be mindful. You're going to have to spend a lot more money than you normally usually do to level up your traders' basic requirements. On top of those changes, you now have to be higher level to level up your traders, and you need to spend more money on those traders as well. So after a number of hours in the game, I only have level 2 Prapor and level 2 Therapist, and I'm currently slowly working towards getting everybody up to level 2, but it is going to cost me millions and millions of rubles now, so farming money is actually going to be beneficial. And from what I've heard, Interchange is actually a really good source of getting money from all of the cash registers that are spread around the stores. So if you're looking for making some money, that is a good way to do it, and you're not going to be interrupted by scavengers. The only enemies you're going to be running into are other PMCs. Now, of course, there's lots of new armor, helmets, body armor, and cosmetics like hats, like a cowboy hat, different ball caps for Bear and USEC, different glasses, all sorts of cool little changes, which is going to help diversify not only the scavenger base, but the player base as well. Like if you run a squad, you now have a lot more options to help identify who's who in your group. Now, for new body armor, the only 2 new body armors I was able to get my hands on was the UN TAR, which is a level 3 soft body armor, so it's better than the P.A.K.A., and I was able to get a bunch of them from scavengers. There's a lot around, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem finding it. But I was also able to find one of the more difficult to acquire body armors, which is called, we're calling it the Gazelle K armor. It's a class 4 body armor, and it looks awesome. It's like this silver, it looks like a plate carrier basically, and and it was on a scavenger. I'm not too sure if it was from a scab boss. I was a little bit far away whenever I killed him, but the guy had a 6B47 and one of these body armors on, so I was able to get both of these as well. And I was running this body armor 17 plus raids in a row, and I had a 94% survival rating until I lost this gear set. So this body armor means business, and it doesn't really take away from your ability to run, so that's kind of awesome. So you're not going to get the negative consequences from running a fort, but you're still going to get some pretty serious protection. But the new plate carrier, which can actually be put over top of soft body armor, I didn't know that, so you can wear the new level 4 vest and wear a fort armor at the same time. Unfortunately, I never found it, but that is going to be insane. I wonder how that armor is going to stack and help defend you. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm actually kind of worried to see how it works. I hope it's not too overpowered. So let's talk a little bit about the scavengers. There's been some changes to the scavs AI. They're doing different things. They are exploring gunshots, slowing down their movements. I've even had a scavenger go prone and actually start crawling. Usually they just go prone and stay static. They're now becoming a lot more interesting. They're still aim body, but they're not as ESP, so they're not able to look through walls as much as they used to in the past. There's been many times where I've actually been able to break line of sight with the scavengers and break line of sight and successfully kill them before they even realized. Also, last patch, many times with the AK-74, whenever you would shoot one in the head, they would still be alive and they would run for cover or immediately shoot you in the legs. I'm finding that that doesn't happen anymore. I'm pretty damn sure that was a bug with most of the calibers in the game, except for the higher ones like 7.62 by 39, 545, and 308. I think if you guys played a lot of last patch, you would know what I'm talking about. Even with pistol calibers, going for headshots, they should put down the enemies, and they weren't before, but they are now, making it a lot easier for you to kill and outplay scavengers. I'm also noticing that their reaction times are a lot slower, and they seem to try to make decisions more in the middle of a firefight rather than constantly aiming for your legs. I've been reading and hearing in Twitch chat that a lot of people think that scavengers are more difficult, and I've been playing the hardcore challenge for the past 2.5 months, and I can tell you from my perspective, they are a lot easier. In fact, I have not even been killed by a scavenger yet, and I have over 30 raids and only 4 deaths. So the scavengers for me have not been a problem. Taking them out at a distance is a lot easier because you can go for those one taps now reliably. The scavengers' tactics are obviously expanding, and they're getting a little bit smarter in that sense, and they're not relying as much on aimbot, even though they definitely still do, and ESP still happens from time to time. But I legitimately feel that people think the scavengers are overpowered because they got too used to running body armor and their medication every single raid. Fort and Fast MT makes this game really easy, and if you've been playing the game for the past 2 months only using that gear set, you're going to be just laying waste to scavengers no problem. Now you don't have any armor, and a shotgun can kill you with a single shot, so you need to think a little bit harder and slow down your gameplay in order to survive. Like I said, right now, as editing this video, I'm level 16 and have not been killed by a scav once. Now let's talk about the significant changes to how you handle your weapons and reloading your magazines. This, in my opinion, has been the most positive change to the Escape from Tarkov game to date, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people have negative opinions on this. I think we're all in agreement here. It just makes sense and it feels really good, and the reliance on sidearms is awesome. Actually having to bring in like a Grotch or a P226 or a Makarov in with your AK just makes sense, and there's been multiple times already where I've had to rely on my sidearm to keep me alive, so I think this has been a good solution. And having to actually take a minute and pause and reload your mags in a corner and actually hide has been a cool vibe. Now, unfortunately, the soft skill for reloading your magazines is currently not functioning correctly and will most likely be hotfixed soon. Most of the other soft skills are working as intended right now. Just, I think it's called mag drill. It's just not, it's bugged out. So hopefully we'll see a change there soon. It feels great. The recoil increase, totally noticeable, but it seems like the way recoil works in Tarkov has been adjusted too, so it is increased, but I've also been able to handle it a lot better than I have in the past. So it also, fantastic change for people that want to reduce their recoil. The more you shoot your guns, the more your character is going to get used to handling recoil with a recoil control skill over time. And yes, you can go into a raid, sit there and just constantly shoot your AK and get your character to practice the recoil control skill. I think they've balanced it out though. It's going to be a little bit slower than it was before, but it's still probably worth that you focus a little bit on that. So now let's talk a little bit about soft skills. A few noticeable changes, especially to endurance and strength. Endurance now seems to level slower than strength does, which is an interesting change. My strength level is the highest skill that I have right now, and I have not done any actual focus on leveling my strength. So endurance has totally been nerfed. It's going to take a long time to get there to level 51. And I think there's going to be a lot more people running around with level 51 strength this patch. Just be mindful of that. It's going to get a little crazy, especially in 2 months down the road. I do think it's time that the strength soft skill gets nerfed. Especially if there's going to be so many people running around with 51 strength. I mean, we're only hours in and there's already people that, from what I've seen, people have been tweeting me, there's people who already have like level 30 strength. So that's going to be a little insane. So get used to that already. People are going to be able to maneuver much faster than you. So be mindful of that. It actually might be a good idea that you start making sure you're overweight every raid right now with buckshot or armor or weapons to start getting those benefits sooner rather than later before you begin to get outplayed by people who can just simply outflank you. All other soft skills at the moment seem to be leveling as normal, but I'm going to be making a separate video talking about this later. It's only been a few hours, so it's really hard to tell. I'm going to take a closer look on each different skill and notice how fast they've been leveling and if there's been any substantial changes. And of course, Ragman, the new trader, has been added, who will be selling a lot of the new armor, backpacks, and cosmetic items. I don't know too much about Ragman at the moment, if there's going to be tasks that will be unlocked later. He's most likely going to have to be introduced to us by another trader, because right now there is no tasks that are currently set to Ragman at all, and there's no level requirement either. Mechanic has received a new task, which is available at level 10, which requires you to build a shotgun. So I'm going to be diving into that as well with his questing tree in the next couple days. Well guys, that's my first impressions and some of the changes that I've seen with patch 8.0. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, how you're enjoying the patch, your thoughts and opinions on some of these different features. And I would love to see you guys during my daily live streams every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here on the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe for daily content and other survival shooters too. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.